chop wood, and carry water. In this video, we're going to talk about the importance of just simply doing the work. And trust me when I say I've been trying to avoid the work in my own life several times, and it never works. That shortcut is actually a waste of time, and it takes you longer to get to where you actually want to be. And usually, even if you get there, it doesn't allow you to stay if you try to skip doing the work. So if you're new to the channel, this is the Daily Study. My name is Marlon Johnson, and I like to break down different topics, books, scriptures, all that good stuff so that we can all get better together. And today we're going to be taking it a little bit to the left. I've been enjoying breaking down threads, and today we're going to be looking at my own thread. So by the way, if you don't know what a thread is, it's kind of like Twitter, but Instagram made their own version of it. So I've been enjoying this one. We're going to look at a thread I made a couple of weeks ago, and it reads, if you don't go through the valley to get to the vision, you won't be strong enough to stay there when you get there. Do the work and let the work on you. A reminder to myself. I had to talk about this because oftentimes we study people who are more successful than us, and you see the same story. It's the same archetype. Is a person is having a big goal, they want to get somewhere, but in order to get there, they have to go through like their Rocky montage moment. They've got to go through their lows. They've got to lose the fight, and then they've got to get back up and keep pushing. And when they keep pushing, it's through the resistance, it's through being beat up, it's through being thrown down that they actually become the version of themselves that they're able to, quite frankly, earn and deserve the victory, the gold medal at the end, if you will. So here I grabbed a couple of faces that you might remember or you might be familiar with. We got first off Kobe Bryant. This is a person who not only worked his absolute guts out through his high school career in order to make it to the NBA as one of the youngest players to enter the NBA at 18 years old, but this was a man who consistently kept pushing day in and day out throughout his career, well into his 30s, to become arguably the best basketball player to have ever dominated the courts. And what you see is this was the individual who represents this right here, is what we're talking about, of going through the valley to get to the vision. Because now when he made it into the league, he spoke about how his competition, the other guys in the league, they would get there, but they didn't quite keep pushing. There was a different level of hunger that they had. And I can attest to this in my own life. When I was first getting into real estate, I was so hungry to get that first deal. I was calling 6, 7, 8 hours a day. I was watching every Zoom I could, studying Bigger Pockets, studying mentorship programs, reading the books, writing the notes. I was doing everything I possibly could because there was a hunger in me. And then that hunger got satiated with a couple of checks, and I started to make money, and I noticed that my hunger died down a little bit, and the things that I still had desires, but they became preferences and no longer a must. They weren't a standard anymore. And I had to shake myself back up to get back in the game and to really realize I'm not where I want to be, and people are depending on me. People require me to walk through the valley because they themselves cannot do it for whatever reason. I'm the man of my family. I'm the man that's going to be the person that provides. And so I have to walk through the valley so that I can get to the destination and not just get there, but stay there so I can make room for others. So let's look at another gentleman who did this. Steve Jobs. Whether you loved him or you hated him, whether you used Apple products or not, you recognize that Steve Jobs was somebody who pushed through persistence, and he had what people refer to as a delusional reality, right? He did not see the same reality as everybody else. He made up in his mind that the vision was where he was going to go, and he was not stopping until he got there, even when he was fired by his own company, right? Imagine being the founder of a company and being axed out. He got back in and continued to build and work on the vision, continued to build and work on the dream. I want to just simply remind you, if you're watching this video, you're watching it for a reason today. You didn't come and click on this video on accident. You didn't watch this far into the video on accident. I want to remind you to go out and do the work. No matter how difficult it is, no matter how sucky you might be, right? And if you're brand new at what you're doing, you're probably going to suck, and that's okay. Stop worrying about other people thinking you suck, because screw them. They're the ones who aren't even trying. I can tell you this. A person who's gone on to do the thing that you're doing, who's doing it well, they will never look at a person who's starting and say that person sucks. They would never judge a person. The people that judge you are the people who aren't trying themselves. They're judging you because they're too scared to get up and make a mistake on their own. So they're going to judge everybody else to make everybody else sit back down so that they can feel comfortable. Screw those people. I want you to go out there today, and I want you to be willing to suck. I want you to be willing to start. I want you to be willing to continue pursuing after your goal. I want you to do the work and let the work on you. So let me know in this video what you thought about this. Is this something that resonated with you? Is this thread hitting home for you? Does it make sense why you want to be willing to go through the valley, right? And going through the valley, by the way, we call it the valley of death. Right? You go through the valley, the dark points, the low points of your life, because in those areas, that's where you're hardened. So are you willing to get hardened so that you can get to your vision and you can stay there when you get there? Let me know in the comments below if that's you. Again, if you got value from this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with a friend, because we're going to be dropping videos like this every single day for the daily studies. So guys, I appreciate you, and I'm looking forward to continuing the conversation in the comments below.